clear the block out. Keep me a shorter, he'll break a jaw, call him knockout. Thought he a cheater, but ain't a thing that I don't know about.
All right, Edwin, just fresh
What's
off
up,
the
Abe?
plane, fresh
Yeah,
off the plane from New York. Episode 9. Let's get into it. UFC 281. Israel
crazy
Adesanya,
night.
dude, it was the best card of the year, I think. And I don't know if that's recency bias, but top to bottom, the most finishes in UFC history on a card.
Tied. It was tied. It's a fun fact. It's tied with the only other two events that had 11 finishes on the card were UFC 224, that was Nunes versus Pennington, and a fight night, Bisping versus Rockhold. That's forever ago.
Dang. Well, it lived up to the hype and then some because we were
Yeah.
talking about this card being stacked from top to bottom, and it ended up, yeah, just surpassing expectations even. Um,
Insane.
let's start off with the first fight of the card, yeah? Israel Adesanya versus
Main
Alex
event.
Pereira. Um,
Craziness.
Alex Pereira, he's been talked about as the most successful hater in the world because he hunted down Israel Adesanya in a completely different sport after beating him in kickboxing,
Mhm.
just to take it away from Israel Adesanya. Who knows if Alex Pereira would have even wanted to get into MMA if Israel Adesanya wasn't the champion. But let's talk about the fight.
It was a crazy fight. It ended in the fifth round, right?
Yeah, fifth round
Fifth round
stoppage.
TKO. Yeah, TKO. Pereira stopped Adesanya, but up until that point, up until that round, I had it scored 3-1 Israel.
Same. Yep, I
Okay.
had first round for Israel,
Yep.
second round for Pereira. Which, by
Yep.
the way, in that first round with Israel, he hurt him. He
He
hurt
uh
Pereira.
he gave him a hook that ruptured his ear. You could see blood coming out of Pereira's ear, and his equilibrium was messed up. You could see, and he was saved by the bell literally in the first round. Like maybe 10 more seconds, Israel could have done something major to him. But yeah, he was definitely wobbled in the
That
first round.
last hook in that first round landed like right after the bell. He swung before the bell, so it
Hmm.
wasn't dirty, but it definitely landed after the bell.
Oh yeah,
But that rocked him. He literally, yeah,
yeah. He
was
got
on
rocked, and
skates.
second round he came back. He Through the whole fight, he was pushing Adesanya, pressuring.
That's
He
how,
had
yeah.
That's crazy. Nobody ever really does that. He had Adesanya on the fence most of the fight. He initiated clinch work. Adesanya, though, they were both just leg kicking each other. It was a very strategic fight. It was definitely one of those don't blink moments
Hmm.
because either of them could land anything. But what was it? Yeah, I think was it that happened in round two. Then round three, Israel started to grapple more. We actually saw
Yeah,
him take down Pereira.
yeah. Took his back for a little bit. He held on. Well, yeah, he dominated on top for a
Hmm.
while.
So I mean, I
Wasn't
I was curious to see because for this camp, Pereira trained with Glover Teixeira,
Yeah.
who's a legit jujitsu assassin. But I don't know, maybe he needs to train a little longer because he didn't look good on the ground. He
Yeah,
just
he
literally,
just trying
I
to
think
power through everything.
I was gonna say he just used his giant build and just brute strength to just like power out. There was no like technique or transition to it. He just popped out because dude, he is huge in person. Let me tell you that's a big. His hands are freaking huge. He's a specimen. This
Yeah,
guy.
freak power.
Hmm.
Definitely high level, the highest level kickboxing that you're going to see in the UFC and in kickboxing even because obviously they were both great in that sport. But yeah, kind of weird how somebody like Pereira who beat someone as dominant as Adesanya because he had the stand up equivalent in skill, could in a way get dominated probably by someone like a Hamzat or maybe even like a Bo Nickel if they would have survived the stand up, just because their
That's what I
grappling
was
is going to be
thinking.
so much ahead of Pereira's.
Yeah, I was thinking that too, and discussing it with people. Where like, of course, after this fight, they're gonna do the rematch
Yeah,
for sure. It does
deserved.
deserve because you don't have a dominant champion like Israel, and then just be like, all right, no, you can back of the line. No, is he still there? And Israel already said he's up for the rematch, which would be exciting. But uh, let's I had that thought of imagine of like UFC putting like Derek Brunson or even like remember Jack the Joker Hermanson,
Yeah.
who like that grappling is his only thing, like up against Pereira, like that would be interesting to see him grapple, but he pulled it off in the what was that? Yeah, the fifth round.
Or even Whitaker, who's very well rounded.
He's very well rounded. That'd be a scary fight.
But
Be a
for
good fight.
sure, Adesanya should get it. He was on his way to become the GOAT in the middleweight division. And he looked really good. He was winning the fight in our cards. And it's just he has his number, dude. Pereira has Adesanya's number, and somehow he keeps doing it where he's winning the fight at the very end. Now in a completely different sport. And Adesanya, I mean, I don't know how much of it is mental, dude. I mean, when someone did you see in the fight hype before Pereira said that there was like some saying in Brazil where like I forgot exactly how it went, but like you never forget when you get beat up or whatever, or when someone beats you up, some shit.
I did see that. He said that in the interview that was it like a defeated man doesn't forget it, something like that.
Yeah.
But he's basically it sticks with you is what he's saying, and it tortures you and it messes with you.
And it seemed like it did because it happened the same way. Like I don't know if Adesanya got a little bit cocky, and then there's always that danger of Pereira being able to just land one good blow. Like Adesanya had to be perfect for 5 rounds. Pereira did not have to be perfect for 5 rounds. He only needed that. He's like a kind of like the bronze bomber. ¿Cómo se llama, dude? Deontay Wilder. Like he just doesn't have to be perfect the entire time. He just needs to land that one.
The one shot. But yeah, no, he did it. Some people at first argued that it was an early stoppage, but I disagree. I think it was a good stoppage. Israel was wobbly. His legs were done. He was on his way down. I mean, I would not have liked to see him get like flatlined out cold. No, but I think it was a good stoppage.
Yeah, when it first happened, I thought I got up and kind of like, what? First of all, that's crazy. Second of all, that was an early stoppage. But then when I saw the replay and you see how Adesanya was out and then he had got knocked down.
He got rocked. You got rocked like twice at least in that exchange.
Looking at the floor the whole time. It was a really good stoppage. And honestly, who was the ref? Was it Mark Goddard?
Mark Goddard.
He saved a couple years out of Adesanya's career because that could have been worse, like way worse.
Could have been.
I mean, good stoppage.
Good stoppage, and I mean, if people are saying that it was an early stoppage, I mean, would you rather have Steve Mazzagatti or Mario Yamasaki?
Right.
For people that don't know, notorious for just letting fights go on way too long.
Way too long, for sure.
That it's like just brutal. It could be like murder at that point, but no, this is a sport. At the end of the day, people need to feed their families and live to fight another day.
Yeah, man. And now you got these. I mean, this sport is unforgiving for real. It's not a game, right? Like, and anything can happen. You got, first Kamaru Usman, who looked invincible. Well, not first him. Obviously Nunes too, and all that. But
isn't it crazy though? Both fights, the Usman and Edwards, and then this one ended both in the 5th round. Just at the very end, where you're like, all right, it's gonna be enough. This one was actually, it wasn't a snoozer like a few of Israel's last few fights. This one was actually very competitive.
Yeah, very technical too. Very, very technical, and just it was great to see like a really high level kickboxing fight like that.
Yeah.
But they mixed it up every now and then. I was hoping Adesanya would be more dominant in those grappling. I mean, he was dominant in the grappling, but he wasn't able to finish with anything. And
no real submissions, no real choke, nothing like that. He's just like on him. He's just wearing him down like or grinding. Would you agree? Okay. But what'd you think of his entrance? I thought it was cool.
Adesanya's entrance?
Yeah.
Oh, the saw thing?
Yeah,
I was kind of disappointed with it because I guess I get it. He was trying to be like really focused and not being gimmicky with it like last time but
I wasn't surprised by what he did because in the interviews leading up to on Fight Week, he did say that he wanted to make it a horror movie for Pereira, and I guess he Saw.
Yeah.
I thought it was cool. I like that music. It was pretty cool.
Yeah,
that was just one little thing I was like looking forward to.
I thought he was gonna do more of a show with it though. I was expecting more from both of them. With the
Dude, Pereira's was like scary. His music, it was just like tribal sounds.
yeah,
And
and
he
he was
just came
coming
out
out.
and he does his bow and arrow thing and like
Yeah,
and dude, his makeup at the weigh-ins was crazy when he walked out looking like that.
that
I was
looked
like,
dope. That
that
looked
was
really
scary.
cool.
That I don't want to be in front of that guy wearing that. Imagine that. They're like, I'd be like, I gotta fight that guy. He's wearing that red paint, just like ready to fucking murder you. Hell no, that was scary. I thought it was cool.
It was cool. And the fight though, like fifth round, it was a surprise to see that happen, but also something that was always likely to happen, right? Like everybody knew that if Pereira landed a big shot like that, it could all be over. Um,
Absolutely.
I think Adesanya knew in the back of his head too. Uh, strike wise, Pereira ended up having the more strikes landed.
Really. I mean,
Yeah.
I didn't see any of these things. I'm just looking down in the arena. I couldn't see any stats.
More significant strikes. Um, everything else was pretty close, but Pereira had the advantage in most things except for the control.
Okay. Well, yeah,
It,
ground control.
but I mean, yeah, definitely Adesanya has to be next. They have to give him the rematch,
We'll get a rematch.
and we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, it's
Um,
anybody's game at this point, but it'll be. I'll watch it. What time frame for this? Probably what? It's November now. Probably what? Maybe.
March,
I think June. I'm thinking.
June.
I'm thinking like 6 months.
Yeah, they should do it. They should do it soon. I had heard people talking about like having Robert Whitaker just jump the line so that he gets not another shot, but it has to be
Now Whitaker
Adesanya.
already has a fight booked with against Paulo
Costa
Costa,
in December. Yeah.
so that's a no. Not
Yeah, so
yet.
that's the fight to make then. Pereira and Adesanya is two. Well, technically like four,
Or
right? um,
they can keep fighting for each other for like forever now. It's never going to be boring.
crazy how Pereira on his fifth fight in the UFC becomes champion of the middleweight division.
Yeah,
Though
6-1 in MMA.
7-1 now,
Okay, yeah. But yeah,
but
no, it's freaking crazy. Now he's a middleweight champion.
yeah, what? It's just being dominant in one sport or one aspect of the sport. So that's just crazy. I mean, obviously it helps that you're training with Glover Teixeira, who's also, probably training hard with you because he has a fight himself next month
Next month against Prohaska.
for the light heavyweight title. Um, but yeah, man, it was a great fight. Um, I feel like I had so much to. Oh, did you notice the did you rewatch the fight or did you rewatch anything afterwards? There
Not
was this
yet, not
part
yet.
where Pereira's corner in the fifth round
Mm.
was
They told
telling,
him to. They told him he had to go knock him out.
yeah, he was like, they were like, you're 5 minutes away from being champ. After telling him that he was losing the fight and that he had to go all out in that
That's
fifth
all he had.
round.
Yeah.
And it worked because even as soon as Pereira got up from his seat, he started walking towards Izzy like right away. And Mark Goddard had to like tell him to chill out and go back to the cage. And he came out, man. Yeah, that was dope.
That's
Good
like
ass
a.
fight.
That's like the finish to a movie.
Yeah, I mean the whole thing was like a movie.
Yeah.
How he followed him from kickboxing to MMA to UFC, and it's almost bittersweet in a way. Like or Adesanya was talking about how Pereira was probably in like a favela, like seeing him
Just
succeed in the UFC and
just
being
thinking like
like, I
I
beat
beat him
that
twice.
guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and now like all
With
that.
like a chip on his shoulder. I could see that. I mean, that would bug me too, but he went and beat him. So that's cool. So yeah, we'll have a rematch to look forward to.
Hell yeah. Definitely gonna look forward to that. It was a fucking awesome fight.
Mm-hmm.
You got anything else you want to go over about that one?
No, just no, I think we covered enough on that.
Okay.
All right.
Uh,
Co-main.
Co-main women's strawweight title fight between weilizhang and Carla Esparza. A lot better than the Carla Esparza versus Rose Namajunas fight. And I think what we expected to happen happened.
Yep.
Weilizhang ran through Carla, gets a rear naked choke finish in this early in the second. Was it early or late in the second round? I don't remember, but
that round. It was that round.
yeah.
But what was it? What's surprising is this is how weird MMA fans are. Usually when you have an American and you're fighting a foreigner, you're always in that fight probably gonna hear a USA chant and stuff. Not in this fight. Everybody was cheering for Zhang Weili. Carla was just nobody favored her. Even at the weigh-ins and during interviews, everybody just booed her.
Yeah, that kind of bogus, but I get it. She had a really boring fight last time. They were like not letting her.
Yeah, I mean,
forget
I
it,
can see
but
she's not seen she's not seen as a legitimate champion the way she got that the belt recently. She's not seen as like she didn't really beat Thug Rose the way a champion should be beat. I can see why that'd be upsetting, and Zhang Weili comes in and just dominates her, like even in the grappling, which was surprising because that's supposed to be Carla's bread and butter.
yeah, well, yeah. Weili was just so strong and was scrambling really nice, and
Yeah,
I mean,
for this she went to Tiger Muay Thai in Thailand, and she trained in wrestling and striking, and yeah,
yeah. What's it called? Carla. I mean, it might have weighed on her a little bit that she was so booed and not well received by the fans at all throughout the whole thing. You kind of see it a little bit in her press
her demeanor.
conference. Yeah.
Yeah,
But afterwards, she just seemed like regular Carla, like she was fine. So dominant performance by Weili Zhang, or by Weili. She looks nearly like unstoppable. Like I don't know if I know she was stopped by Rose already a couple times, but I would like to see that again. Rose versus
run
Weili.
a trilogy fight.
Yeah.
I mean, who else is in that division? Who else could we call up? What was it? Let me look that up real quick. The rankings.
Yeah, I mean that definitely Weili and Rose are like the ones that have been besides Joanna, who's now
I
not
mean,
in the roster anymore, but
see, Jessica Andrade has a fight coming up. Amanda Lemos just dominated, and she's number 3. So, yeah, could be Amanda Lemos for a quick little, just to get a Zhang Weili as a legitimate, just to place her as a legitimate champion.
yeah, there's not too many
No real names that pop out
no.
anymore.
Yeah,
But
Mackenzie
we'll see.
Dern would have probably gotten a chance if she won her last fight, but she didn't.
Right, but she didn't. So maybe if Jessica Andrade wins her next fight, she could get a rematch because she did lose the belt to Weili
Yeah.
in China. So we'll see.
Yeah. So there's a couple people or a couple fighters on here that had a pretty good hype around them, but they've lost their more recent fights where they could have gotten ranked up a little higher. Like you got Marina Rodriguez and Amanda Ribas. But they lost their last couple fights. So yeah, it'd probably be somebody like Andrade, Namajunas.
Or Lemos. Why not
Yeah.
Lemos?
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll see. All right.
All right, now let's go ahead and talk about the fight of the night.
I was gonna say the fight of the night.
Holy shit, dude, that fight was amazing. I was up on out of my seat so many times for this fight.
Oh, dude, nobody in the arena was standing or sitting. Everybody was standing.
I bet. I mean, it was better than the Gaethje fight with Chandler, I think, and that fight was crazy. So Poirier versus Michael Chandler, the lightweight, about it was insane, dude. The first round was insane. Poirier landed a lot of strikes, hurt him real bad. I think
Chandler started off fast, though.
He did. He was explosive.
He came out just body shots and everything, just marching forward. It was insane to watch.
Yeah.
And it took a minute for Poirier to get started, but when he hit him, dude, Poirier landed some bombs.
There were some points early on in that first round where I thought Poirier was going to be finished early.
It could have been, yeah.
So
it could have been.
Yeah, Chandler definitely was not there to fight the whole 3 rounds. It
no,
seemed like he wanted to end that early.
he wanted
Um,
another highlight.
I almost think like he's his own worst enemy in a lot of ways. But that's also who he is. He's explosive and he's looking for a finish
He's
to the point where he
entertaining.
kind of,
Yeah,
yeah, it's
he
entertaining, but he
like the game
puts
plan just goes
himself,
out the window, and
yeah,
he
he
just
puts
goes
himself
to
in those
just throw.
positions where he's just like gonna, get pieced up, get tired. Um,
I was gonna say he's gonna just gas tank just blown by the second round for sure. But he did very good wrestling, some very good takedowns.
Especially
It
that second
was
round. That second round
uh-huh.
was his. I had it 1-1 going into the third.
Yeah, it was
Um,
very fun fight, but
Poirier hurt him at the end of that first round pretty bad.
yeah, he came back and yeah, he countered him and just pushed him back. It was just literally a war.
Yeah, it was so good, dude. I
It was
couldn't.
good to be there. Oh
Um,
man.
do you notice the dirty tactics that Dustin got mad about?
Yeah, the fish hooking.
The fish hooking and then the like blowing his
Blowing his nose
nosebud.
out and bleeding all over on him,
Yeah.
which that kind of happens when you fight, I guess. But the fish hooking, yeah, that's not cool. You don't do that. That's not nice.
Plus all
So
the
for
blood in on your hand stuff.
man, that's gross. I mean,
Gross.
yeah, that's nasty. So for people that don't know, fish hooking is when somebody sticks their finger in your mouth and just pulls like a fish.
Yeah, he was trying to get that choke in because
Yeah, he was trying to like, yeah, he was on his back. He was trying to like, yeah, choke him, but yeah, no, but yeah, at the very end was it? Yeah, third round, Dustin Poirier uses his jujitsu skills to choke him out.
yeah, the way he got to that choke was so slick. He ended up taking Chandler's back, and I mean, perfect execution of the rear naked choke. He
Mm-hmm.
really disguised. So he had the choking hand, and then he had this hand kind of like as a distractor.
Mm-hmm.
So that Chandler would fight it off, and then as soon as he starts fighting off this hand, he slips this one in real nice,
Mm-hmm.
deep, deep, and you could tell like if Chandler didn't tap to that pretty early on, he
Oh,
was
and then
gonna.
he stretched him out too. You know, the whole body was stretched out. Just
He had a
it was
great
a
body triangle
squeeze.
on him.
Yeah.
He just like lassoed his leg around him
Mm-hmm.
and tightened it up, real tight body lock, body triangle, and then got that. Yeah, it was a perfect naked choke.
It was amazing, worth it. That was a crazy fight. Where did they go from here? So
Good question.
Chandler,
McGregor.
yeah, I was gonna say that's about his only fight. I mean, what Chandler's gone with 2-3 in the UFC. He hasn't won the last. I mean, what? Yeah, he won the last one against Tony Ferguson at 274.
He beat
He's
Dan Hooker,
mm-hmm.
lost to Oliveira, and lost to Gaethje, and now
Mm-hmm.
Poirier.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, fight Conor McGregor. That's the next big fight for him, I think. Or unless he wants to take on somebody else in the lightweight division, like Fiziev or yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
Rematch. Gaethje. Why not?
that might be a Poirier thing, unless Poirier waits for the title.
I I think Poirier should fight Benil.
Hmm. Hmm. Pino Oliveira would be fun too. There's a
Yeah,
lot of fights that could be made.
yeah.
Like, but
Between those three, sure.
I think Michael Chandler versus Conor McGregor is the best option for them because I almost feel bad for Chandler because he's in such awesome fights all the time. And
Oh, his fights are
he's a
fun.
he's a dog, dude. He goes in and like definitely just wants to brawl and bites down on his
He
mouthpiece.
he won me over. You know, when he got signed on, I was like, "Who the hell is this Bellator guy?" Whatever. But dude, he has been fun to watch.
I mean, he definitely dominated in Bellator and all, but different level
That's
right in the
Bellator
UFC. But he's shown up and
levels.
yeah, he is entertaining. Probably the most entertaining fighter in the UFC.
Mm-hmm.
Like if he's in the fight, it's going to be fun. Unfortunately for him, he might have entered the UFC too late. He's on the older end. I think he's like 36, maybe a little older, but 36. So he's like got a couple 2-3 fights left, maybe. I don't know,
Mm-hmm.
maybe more, but he's pretty old now, and you could tell that on his cardio. I think he knows that, and that's probably why he goes in so hard the first minute and a half of the rounds, or like trying to end the fight early for cardio reasons. I think his age is catching up with him, and that's why he's like starting off really quick, maybe not being super confident in his cardio, and wanting to end it early, which I think kind of puts him in a spot where he almost defeats himself in a lot of ways. He, like you said, he throwing the strategy out of the window and just kind of moving forward, and it almost worked against Poirier. But when you got a guy like Poirier who's difficult to put away and who has really good boxing, yeah, it's not easy to do that. And then Poirier ended up
Took it.
putting it together and got the choke at the end. Good scramble, and went over that already a little bit. But like, so what's next? We talked about Chandler going against McGregor,
And that would be a while from now. That'd be over 6 months.
Yeah,
if that were the case, because
McGregor has to
Connor,
pass.
he has
the
to be
USADA
back.
testing.
Yep, and then also go back into training camp.
Yeah,
So
and
that's
looks freakishly big right now, so he'd probably have to go down weight a lot.
So if that were the case, Chandler would take like the whole year off practically.
Yeah, and at his age, you thinking he should get some more fights in, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Do either of these two beat Islam though, Makhachev?
No, I mean Poirier kind of already fought Islam. He fought Khabib, got choked out. It'd be very similar outcome to this.
I think so too.
And then Chandler, nah. I mean, like I said, his only hope is if he clips him, because he does hit hard, and if he clips him early. But otherwise, he would get out wrestled.
Yeah, he'd probably get submitted early on too. It'd be interesting though. It might be more interesting than a Poirier fight actually, but I don't know. Unfortunately, he lost, so he wouldn't be getting the title shot. Obviously,
either way, it's a while until we have a definitive contender because it's official. Islam is fighting Volkanovski in Perth as of yesterday. It was officially signed, so that's.
And they've officially announced the Yair Rodriguez versus Emmett. What's his name? Emmett.
Josh Emmett for the interim featherweight, which I called it. They're going to make an interim featherweight title.
Yep, not a bad call there. So that Perth card's going to be legit. But for sure, fight of the night, Chandler and Poirier. Maybe even fight of the year. That fight was awesome.
It is the end of the year.
Yeah, I rewatched that fight and the Adesanya fight this morning because it was awesome. And it's one of those fights though, that's Poirier Chandler fight, where if I'm on the treadmill or something, I'm gonna put that fight on. It's a good one.
Next.
All right. Next up, we had retirement fight for Frankie Edgar against Chris Gutierrez, bantamweight.
Broke my heart.
I think it broke a lot of MMA fans.
I felt again.
It sucks how this happens to all of the fighters in the sport. They either they lose their last fight really bad like that, or they just, I don't know, they never do like a good last fight call.
Yeah, right off into the sunset, be like, yeah, I did it, and leave out on top. Very few get to do that, but I mean, we shouldn't be surprised the way this went down for Frankie. Literally, including this last one, his last 3 fights, he got knocked out badly. Yeah,
he hasn't looked good in a while. So now, I mean, he's lost.
Since he was legit, when he rematched Jose Aldo at UFC 200, that was good. But I think when it all, went 180 for him was when he fought Brian Ortega, when Ortega was on the rise, and Ortega knocked him out cold with an uppercut.
Yeah.
That was still when he was contending for the featherweights, and then he had that short notice fight against the Zombie, got murked on that one, and went to bantamweight, and he got murked in his last 3. So
yeah, he's lost 5 of his last 6. He only beat Pedro Munoz, and got knocked out in 4 of those. So his last 3 got knocked out. He got knocked out by Sanhagen, a vicious one.
The knee.
Got knocked out by Vera, another pretty bad one. And now Chris Gutierrez with the flying knee.
I wasn't even flying. He just popped the knee up.
Oh yeah, well yeah, yeah. I think you're right, but he definitely got him with the
He had
knee.
no air.
Yeah, a bad one.
Yeah.
He looked good, by the way. Gutierrez looked
the,
awesome. He was super clean on the feet.
Oh yeah, Gutierrez has been on the rise. Young guy, looking good. But dude, the way Frankie went down, dude, his head snapped back on the canvas. It was nasty.
Yeah, he left him stiff.
Yeah,
for sure. But Gutierrez was clean as hell, dude. Technical. He was with his stand up. He was switching stances back and forth really well. He was hitting some leg kicks, and ultimately gets the finish with that knee knockout. A bad knockout. Sucks for Edgar.
Yeah, I feel for him. He's what is it? He's been across 3 divisions, fighting pro since 2005 in the WEC days.
A legend.
Yeah, a legend. Record for the longest time in the octagon of 8 hours.
Crazy.
That's bonkers. But yeah, let's say
I thought he was
even ranked.
No, but that division is so stacked too that it's like, yeah, he's on his way up, so that's why he falls under the radar. But he's been doing really well. I think that was a perfect fight to put him his.
He might become 15 because Frankie was ranked 12, so he's gonna be out, and everybody moves up a spot. He might be 15 next, at least.
Yeah, I can totally see him getting that 15 spot.
Yeah, because Frankie's out.
Dude, put him up against Adrian Yanez. That would be an awesome fight.
Ooh.
Here's Gutierrez versus Adrian Yanez. Hell yeah.
That'd be cool, but
he looked great. Sucks
good.
for Edgar. I thought Edgar was gonna take his gloves off, put him in the middle of the octagon, and give a retirement speech, but he didn't. I don't think.
Oh no, I wouldn't. It was just sad. It was just hard to watch.
Yeah, they showed his kid being right there. That's
yeah, his whole family was there.
Yeah,
it was rough.
Well, not much else there. Well, pretty early finish by Gutierrez. Kind of expected, a knockout for him, but. The first fight of the main card then was a lightweight bout against Dan Hooker versus Puelles.
Claudio Puelles, though.
El Pollo.
Peruvian.
Yeah, Dan Hooker looked awesome. He looked like he was back in a way, except that it didn't help that Puelles seemed to be like a one-trick pony. He was just going for the leg lock. Imanari. I was upset at first.
The Imanari, the first one was cool. Yeah.
The first one was cool, and then it worked. And then he did.
It was scary there for a minute. He had that leg for they were transitioning on the ground there, and it was close there. I was like, oh, one slip here, and he could just tear the knee or put in a heel hook or something. But it was scary there for a bit.
Yeah, I definitely thought he was gonna sink in that leg lock. Which you mentioned in the last episode. You were saying that his leg lock game is nasty, and it did look nasty. But I texted you during the event because I was like, dude, why are all these casuals booing because he's going for Imanari rolls? After the third Imanari roll, though, that was unsuccessful, I was like, all right,
this is getting ridiculous.
Yeah, and that's all he was doing.
And he was literally just going on the pulling guard or trying to pull guard, just like falling on the ground. And it wasn't exciting. I get what he was trying to do, but Dan Hooker also was just piecing him up standing.
Yeah, he had nothing. Puelles had nothing for Hooker standing at all, and he got tired pretty fast. Obviously, the body shots didn't help because Dan Hooker landed some pretty nasty body shots.
I think he quit in that fight.
Yeah, he totally looked like he quit. Like maybe it was a liver kick that landed that when he went down, but it seemed like he just didn't want to get back up.
I don't think he wanted. I think I was gonna ask because you saw it on TV and I saw it there. You said he gassed out and got kicked in the liver and that was it. From my point of view, the way the fight was going, I think he just quit. He said, "Man, I'm not gonna get this leg. I'm out of here."
Totally possible. Because it did seem that way. I mean, he literally just
the way he fell down, the way he went down. The kick, hit him in the gut, like in the rib or whatever. And the way he fell, he didn't wins. He just like kind of like sat down and he was just like,
I mean, he kind of
disappointing.
did like the sting where he like tucked his elbow into his like where his liver would be, but I mean,
Either way, he wasn't winning the fight at that point.
yeah, no, he was getting pieced up. I mean, complete domination on the feet by Dan Hooker, which good for him because he was looking iffy too. Like you could say he's back in a way. Uh, he had a string of bad luck, but against the best, right? Like he lost against Poirier, he lost against Chandler,
Chandler,
and then he
Arnold
lost to
Allen.
Makachev, and then
Yeah.
he went down, fought Arnold Allen, lost. I think that was a big weight cut, though.
Yeah, he used to be. Yeah, he used to be at that weight, but no. I mean, yeah, good for Hangman though. I'm happy for him.
Yeah, he looked good.
He looked good, and hopefully, is what he was ranked 12. Give him number 10 or something like that. Get him back on. Get him back on the radar.
Yeah. So let's go on to the prelims. Brad Riddell versus Renato Moicano ends in the first round by rear naked choke. So Moicano got the rear naked choke. I had
I
picked
called it,
Riddell.
man.
He did.
Moicano.
I didn't think
Dude,
Riddell was going to be that.
Riddell looked like crap at the
Yeah,
weigh-ins. He had a very bad weight cut.
it did seem that way, and he had nothing on the ground against Moicano.
Moicano, no. And then, I mean, yeah, Moicano made it look easy, took his back, choked him. But the fun part was the post-fight interview in the octagon. Moicano went into business for himself and
Oh
just
yeah,
that was fun. I became a bigger fan of him after that. I was like, man, I love this guy.
same here.
Moicano makes money.
Yeah, that was cool. I also became more of a for sure. He looked really good, man.
Yeah. So yeah, good for Moicano.
Yeah, it was a good way to set up the choke too
Mm-hmm.
early on. Um, let's see. So the next fight on the prelims was a devastating knockout.
I see what you did there.
Yeah, the devastator Dominic Reyes versus Span. What's his first name?
Ryan.
Ryan Span. Okay,
Yeah, Superman Span,
Superman Span.
who missed weight.
He did miss weight. Yeah,
He came in heavy. Like by what was it, like a pound and a half or something? Or no, half a pound? Either way,
it was a couple minutes into the first round.
half a pound. Yeah, they were throwing
Yeah,
as
dude.
soon as it started, and they hit hard.
But Reyes, dude, with like the hands down and then another really bad knockout.
It
So,
wasn't even like a crazy it was a jab.
uh, I don't remember exactly how it. I know that Reyes like went for his own shot
Mm-hmm.
also and got countered. I think it was a no, yeah, dude. It was like a
It was
piss
a jab.
jab. It was like
It
just
was
a
just
really
pop, and it just clipped him, and he just went down. It was bad. He
got
was.
knocked the fuck out, dude. I don't know how long it took him to get up, but
It was a while. He was on the canvas. I was just like, oh, which is complete change from. He's the one that arguably beat John Jones on the scorecards,
3-2.
3-2, and then what? Loses all of his next fights since
Yeah,
then.
by knockout. He got
Bad
knocked out bad in his last 3 fights. So he got knocked out against Blachowicz. So he lost to John Jones, even though we think he beat John Jones, right?
by decision.
Yeah, but he lost by decision. And then he loses to Blachowicz, second round knockout. Then he lost to Prochazka in that really crazy
spinning elbow. Was out for 2 years, comes back, and then just gets flattened with a jab.
A bad one. So yeah, Reyes, he might be done.
Yeah, he may be. Yeah.
When you get knocked out 3 times in a row, your chin is gone, and that's not good for your brain. And yeah,
I feel for him, but yeah, Span. Who could he fight now?
well, now let's see, he's number 12. I don't know if that's probably going to change.
I know he wanted a top 10 now. I know he mentioned that in the octagon.
Let's see, Ryan Span. Why not Jamal Hill? Or like, I mean, he could fight anybody up there above him. He could fight Johnny Walker. He could fight Paul Craig, Nikita Krylov, Jamal Hill.
Volkan Oezdemir, he just won. So yeah, it'd be interesting. There's room. There's names for him to fight.
Yeah. Reyes should take a long break again, and I don't know.
Reassess, because I mean he changed camps. He's doing what a fighter would do after suffering those 2 defeats, and that's still not working. So I don't know, man. It's hard. It's hard to be like, hey, you should not do this anymore. But I don't know.
Yeah. Next fight.
Yep.
Molly Meatball McCann versus Aaron Blanchfield. Yo, she
got dominated.
Dominated completely. I mean, I definitely didn't think that Molly was gonna get that dominated, but we were sleeping on Blanchfield, dude, because I don't remember who we chose. We might have
we all went for Molly because it's Meatball Molly. We were like,
yeah,
Meatball sub.
Yeah, we definitely were like on the hype train with her.
She's nice. She's fun.
But we forgot, dude. We forgot that Blanchfield was good in Invicta too.
Yeah. And Invicta, really good grappling from what we saw. The way this fight went, she put Molly in the crucifix position and just hammered her. I think the fight went on too long. I think the fight went on too long.
She got hit a lot with those elbows in that crucifix.
She hit like 300 unanswered shots, and then 2 Kimura attempts, and she got her on the second one. Finally forced a submission, but I think that fight went on a little bit too long.
Yeah, I mean, for the fight to have been like a couple minutes long, she landed 93 strikes.
Unanswered, because your arms are pinned down, and then your opponent has the one free arm, and they're just wailing on you.
And she had no idea. Molly had no idea how to get out of that.
She tried to kip up, but no, she just ended up right back into it, back in that position. I feel for Molly because she's a fan favorite. We all like to see her. She's hype. She's exciting, but Aaron Blanchfield, good for her. She won the crowd over. She was getting booed since the weigh-ins and the entrance, but people were cheering her.
23 years old, by the way. So very young and a bright prospect for that division.
She's number 12 in the flyweight, so she'll be fighting higher opponent here soon. See who's up there. She's 12. I wouldn't mind seeing her she could take on Tracy Cortez, Macy Barber, Casey O'Neill, Andrea Lee. That'd be fun.
I think you could put her up against a top 10 right now.
Yeah. Yeah, Casey, Macy, whoever.
So really nice Kimura, and dominated her on the ground. And then we also had Petrosky wins a decision against Turman. I don't remember too much about that one though.
It's just a lot of wrestling, very heavy wrestling from Petrosky. That dude, he was good. Oh, the fun moment in that fight, he at one point got Wellington Turman in a guillotine, and he put the squeeze on him, and it looked bad. And I swear the Turman was out, and then Petrosky let go, and I swear he can't snap back in, and then they kept fighting. But it was a good showing by Petrosky.
Oh yeah, you're right. Petrosky did look really good in his wrestling for sure. Don't know who could be next for Petrosky. He called somebody out, didn't he? Did he call out Bo? Did he call out Bo? Bo Nickel?
He did. He did call out Bo Nickel.
That would be cool.
That'd be a fun fight. I
think Bo Nickel would wrestle the shit out of him though, but it'd be fun.
It'd be a fun fight either way right now, but cool, good showing for him.
All right, let's go to the early prelims because we had still some
because those were bangers too.
Yeah, Matt Frivola versus Atman Zaitar. Really good fight.
He got steamrolled.
I mean, really good knockout. Not really a really good fight because it ended in the first round also.
I was shocked.
Me too. I didn't expect Frivola to get the knockout. Really.
It was a good hook, and Ottoman just folded out cold.
Yeah, he was out cold for sure. That landed with a lot of intent. He Frivola went into that octagon just looking intense. Like his whole walkout even was.
Oh, his walkout was fun, dude.
Yeah, you
I've
could
been
tell.
I've been blasting that song since yesterday. I love that song.
You could tell since he was walking out that it was gonna be that it was like a serious. He got rocked a little bit,
Yeah,
right? But he came
Oddman.
back.
I mean, yeah, Oddman's a killer. He was undefeated, and we were like, oh, this guy's gonna be cool. But no, he just got slept.
What was it like a check left hook or something?
It was a hook. I remember it was a hook, and he just nailed him right in the chin, just planted him down. So that's cool. I look forward to seeing Matt Favola now.
Oh yeah, for sure. Don't know who he'll have next, but he'll definitely be one to watch. It's going to be
Lightweights, yeah.
a stacked division.
Let's
Um,
see. Carolina Kovalkovich against Silvana Gomez Juarez. This one was a shutout. Carolina was just too crisp and fast.
yeah, she
I mean,
looked
Silvana, she was throwing bombs and missing, and Carolina was better on the ground, just faster and better in technique all around. Clear victory for Carolina.
Yeah, it was cool to see her happy to she had just switched camps to American Top Team,
Yeah,
and
now she's doing good again.
worked out for her. Yeah, because she was on
Yeah.
a pretty big losing streak.
Weirdest thing in this fight is that before they read the scorecards, the judges came back in and took the scorecards.
Oh
They were
yeah,
redoing the math.
that was the weirdest shit ever.
Yeah, we were all like, "What the hell's going on?"
People
I
were
made some
blowing up.
jokes. Yeah, I bet they forgot to carry the one when they were adding them up, or they didn't even know who they were scoring, and something got crossed. I bet.
Yeah, I couldn't tell, and it looked sketcy.
Yeah.
Like, why are they switching it up? But whatever. Either way,
Bruce Buffer was like, "I got this."
yeah. Gomez Juarez looked like she could have landed some pretty big ones, but yeah.
She's got some power, and but she's knocked out other girls, but they weren't on the caliber of Carolina.
Yeah. I almost thought no, yeah. Gomez Juarez had the second round.
I didn't give her any round.
I think it was 29-28 all across, right?
It was, but I was thinking 30-27 watching it there. I was like, man, Carolina's is winning.
Yeah, I did have it 29-20, 27
Okay.
for Kolokovic. I think Gomez Juarez took the second round just because she landed some really heavy shots a couple times in the
Yeah,
second.
she's heavy handed. So that's cool.
Um,
The other fun fight.
yeah, this one,
This
Truzano
one was
versus
fun.
Troy. Dude, a fun first round, double
Yeah,
simultaneous knockdown. That was fun.
That was hilarious.
Yeah, they just landed on right on each other, like mirrored each other's shots, and both fell.
Just hooks and just fell back.
Back
That
and
was
forth,
crazy.
fun as hell first round.
It only went the first round. Then it ended 4-51 in the first.
Yeah, Truzano gets the knockout.
They were just hurting each other back and forth. This was fun to watch.
Yeah, definitely set a good pace for the rest of the card. Even though the fight got started with a good knockout. But yeah, fun fight. How long did it last? It was almost
the whole round.
almost the whole round, yeah.
But I mean, it's good, but it's a little tarnished because Trezano did miss weight by a pound and a half.
That's right. Yeah,
And this was his last fight on the contract. So
I thought Troy got a little reckless. He was just trying to finish. And he, he wasn't not being cautious at all. I think he thought that he could.
they were just throwing, man. They were just throwing. They were just swinging. I loved it.
He got caught.
It was a slobber knocker.
10 seconds left in the round before he. But yeah, good fight. Then we had Arsa versus Jackson. That
Called
one.
it.
You did call that one, Montel Jackson.
No, I went with superstition. You brought up numbers. I was like, damn, you're right. Montel Jackson's just statistically a better fighter.
Yeah. 30-27, 30-27.
That's how I saw it.
Yeah, I had 30-27 also.
But the first fight.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was fun. Carlos
Oberg looked
Uber,
awesome.
yeah, against Nikolai Negumerenu. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, Oberg had a really powerful like sniper, like a sniper of a jab. Uh and finished him. It took him a long time to get up after that knockout.
Oh, he was out cold, man. That one was really bad. They had to help him up. He was sitting on the stool for a minute. But yeah, it was a jab, and then it was the follow-up shots. He like followed him and landed a few cool like uppercuts. But yeah, dude, this Ulber guy, I like him.
Yeah,
He
he was
looks
fun.
it's light heavyweight. He looks like a natural light heavyweight. You know, he's just built. He's just a big guy, not like fat or anything. He's made for this division.
Yeah, definitely someone to look for as a contender.
And he's from City Kickboxing.
Yeah, yeah.
So legit striking. He displayed it. I look forward to seeing him again.
Yeah, he had an awesome outside calf kick that hurt his opponent. Plus the jab, and then he rocked him with a check left hook.
Okay.
Then followed up with like really aggressive ground and pound and just nasty.
He looked good.
Yeah. But overall, awesome ass
The
event,
whole
dude.
card, yeah.
So dope
Dude.
that you got to be there live.
I didn't take a single piss break, man. It was too good. I was pacing myself. I was like, it was worth it.
Yeah, dude. Fuck, it was dope. I'll be watching it again. I already rewatched the main card.
I will.
I'm gonna watch it again.
You can't not rewatch this. Any fight on this card. Well, the cool ones, yeah.
For sure. Definitely the last three.
All right.
Well, yeah. Well, it was fun. Did you have anything else to add about the pay-per-view or anything?
As far as the pay-per-view, not much. You know, next week we do have the return of Derek Lewis. That'll be fun to watch.
Yeah. He's the underdog in this fight, probably because of his current form, but I see Derek Lewis getting the win. A couple of noteworthy fights, I guess. You got Kennedy, Chukwu, I don't know how to say his last name.
Chukwu and Iwan Kudalaba. Love that
Should
guy.
be a good fight. That should be a good fight.
Chase Sherman, Andre Fiallo.
Oh, Chase Sherman against Waldo Cortes Acosta, who just fought.
Oh wow, you're right. That's a fast turnaround.
Yeah. And then Andre Fiallo, who has some good boxing. He's going to fight Muslim Salikov, so that one should be decent.
Jennifer Maya's on the card.
Against Marina Moroz.
Ricky
Tershos off the Ultimate Fighter is fighting on that card. But yeah.
It's a decent little card. Decent. All right. And then I'd say the only other thing really worth noting, the WBC switching to boxing. The WBC has ordered 2 fights to happen now. It's official. We're getting Andy Ruiz against Deontay Wilder. The winner of that will fight Tyson Fury. And then it's official. We get David Benavidez against Caleb Plant, and the winner will be the mandatory for Canelo.
Those are great fights. I'm glad those got done. It doesn't completely make up for not being able to get Spence versus Crawford made, but
somebody's dropping the ball there.
Yeah. You have a theory
about what?
About that fight?
I do.
Last time you told me you thought that I forgot which one of them you think is scared.
Oh, Spence is scared.
Spence is
scared because Crawford he gave up way too much in the contract. He clearly wants the fight to happen. He gave up all the money. He gave up pretty much everything. All he wanted was transparency, but they wouldn't even let him have that. So, I mean, yeah.
Do we have dates for the Andy Ruiz fight and the Benavidez fight?
The Benavidez is just said to be in the first quarter of 2023. The Andy fight, I'm sure that'll be first quarter, first or second quarter, because we have to wait for Tyson Fury to fight in December.
I think the Benavidez versus Caleb Plant fight is a more intriguing fight.
That'll be fun to watch.
I definitely think Deontay's probably gonna knock out Ruiz.
Yeah, because he's stubby.
Yeah,
he's shorter and he's got shorter arms. I mean, good luck, but
I hope he puts up a good fight.
Yeah.
but I don't see him. I don't see Andy Ruiz winning that fight at all. I think we're gonna see a knockout.
He's a Cinderella man, as mean as it is to say. He got his one victory against Anthony Joshua, lost the belts, and now he's where he's at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But exciting stuff. Benavidez versus Plant. Who would you have on that fight?
Man,
Plant looked good in the last fight.
he did look good, but
And he looked good against Canelo.
Mm-hmm. He looked good. But Benavidez is a lot bigger, I think.
Yeah.
And he's fast too. I don't know. I gotta think on that, but that's a fun fight.
Yeah, that's a fun one for sure. Well, some good stuff to look forward to.
Yeah.
But all right, dude, it was a fun episode 9. So we'll go ahead and talk about next week. We can go over the fight
Some
night.
fight nights and stuff. Yeah, we have a few fight nights coming up.
Talk about our last pay-per-view of the year. But all right, man, we'll leave it at that.
All right. Boom, boom.
Change cause they know I keep the pole out. Look in the club like 20 deep, I keep the Glock out. Shorty a tease, she running around with a top out. They ain't no ops when I pull up, I clear the block out. Kid man shorter, he'll break your jaw, call him knockout.